Hello, I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy and Transaction Banking Editor at The Banker. And with me in the studio is Ireti Samuel-Ogbu, Europe, the Middle East and Africa Head of Payments and Receivables, Treasury and Trade Solutions at Citi, to discuss open banking and the future of payments. Ireti, thanks so much for joining us today. So how do you think banks can really leverage open banking and the Payment Services Directive to launch new payment services?
I think the key is to actually look at ways to create this new payment type, because open banking provides optionality to our merchant clients, our corporate clients. It gives them an alternative to collecting through inefficient means like cash and to even collecting through cards as well. So what open banking does is provide optionality for both our clients, who are merchants, and it gives options to consumers as well, because they now have an alternative real-time collection capability and other payment acceptance available to the ecosystem, if you like.
And I know Citi in June became a registered PISP, Payment Initiation Service Provider.
Yes.
And is registered on the Open Banking Registry.
Yes.
You know, how important is that to Citi, and sort of, you know, what does that really mean?
First of all, before I answer the question, maybe I can just step back and talk about the UK. The UK for us has been an early adopter of PSD2 through open banking and through the registry you mentioned. Europe, on the other hand, is not going live on open banking till September 2019, when the regulatory technical standards go live. Two things the UK did that I think is very transformational for open banking. The first thing is that they mandated 9 of the largest retail banks to actually open up their infrastructure, but to open it up in a standard way using one single standard API. Europe, on the other hand, has not really mandated one single API standard and has just given guidelines. So really, worst case scenario is that we could have 4,000 different APIs to connect to 4,000 different banks in Europe. But the great thing about the UK is that it's mandated, so the banks have to do it. And secondly, it's the one API standard, which means that a bank like Citi, using one standard mechanism, one standard connectivity, can connect to 9 banks in the UK and enable collection from the bank accounts of consumers for our corporate clients, our merchant clients who are the digital natives, and also our traditional clients. So for us, it gives us an opportunity for the first time to intermediate a consumer to business flow in real time. The only way of doing that today is through a card, but now we have the option through open banking, through collecting from a bank account, to provide that optionality to our merchant clients to collect through a new collection mechanism online.
And can you give me a little insight into sort of maybe some sort of innovation that Citi is doing within payment services?
With the open banking, we were the first bank that's non-mandated to actually register with the UK Open Banking Implementation Authority or entity as a PISP. So for us, that was something that was very exciting and very transformational. What we've done is actually start off a sandbox to prove the concept. And we're in the process now of onboarding clients so that they can test this capability end to end. It's not just simply connecting into the retail banks in the UK and collecting from them. There's a whole process around encouraging the change. It's important for merchants to actually incentivize this change. It's important also for the client experience to be improved, because today the client experience requires consumers to actually log into their bank account. It's a redirect model, and some of the changes that we're advocating for is what is called an app-to-app redirect, which is a much quicker way of actually making that collection for our consumers, because we want to make sure that the consumers who use this find this to have value. They find that not only is it potentially a cheaper mechanism, they also get the same or even an improved client experience compared to alternative means. So we are really using this proof of concept on the forefront of really driving this agenda of adoption of getting merchants to incentivize, of advocating for improved client experience, and also adding capabilities onto open banking. So we're also on the forefront of driving the ability to pay later using open banking. Because one of the things you lose when you pay from a bank account is the ability to get credit. So we're promoting a pay later API that can be connected to open banking, so that not only do we provide the option of paying through a bank account, the consumer has the option of being financed from their bank when they do that as well. So these are the things through the proof of concept that we're driving and we're promoting, and hopefully helping to transform the payment space for the benefit of the whole ecosystem, both of the consumer and also the merchants.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your insights, Ireti.
Thank you.